This storm, we had 9 shelters open, 3 special needs shelters, and every single one was equipped. We had our dining services did a first-class job of providing food for everybody. County Commission provided many employees to help us, including librarians. I meant the librarian staff was out working at our schools. I was so happy to meet all of them. And many of our employees, administrators, teachers, other staff, just who want to volunteer and who want to help. Yes, we had over 1,200 guests, over 140 pets, and many workers.
Well, I was just thrilled to walk into each of the shelters to see the happy employees from Seminole County Public Schools. We truly are a family, and they were welcoming all of our guests with open arms, especially our restaurant employees. They were there with 3 hot meals a day, snacks all day, serving with a smile, even though they left their families at home. And it just warmed my heart to see janitors there taking such pride to make sure that the floors were clean. I even heard at Lake Mary High School, since the governor canceled school on that Friday, volunteer students called Dr. Reynolds and said, can we come in today and help set up? And they did. They put plastic down on the floor in the gymnasium, taped it all off. They went around campus and took down all the flags, moved equipment inside to make sure it was safe. So from the students to the teachers to all of our employees, they love Seminole County Public Schools as if it was their own home, which it truly is.
The power was out at my home when I was at one of the shelters, and I was thinking, wow, they're really getting a good warm meal here. And they need that because many of them came from situations without power, some without water. So I think our dining service is really rolling out the red carpet, having all of our dining room managers. We had a few at each school to help out, as well as many of our dining services volunteers provided great food quality for all the guests. As soon as we go into emergency mode and as soon as we know there are going to be shelters, our incredible transportation department actually transports guests to the shelters. There are many guests with special needs, and they need special care to get out of their homes and to be transported to the shelters. Yeah. Our school-based administrators were in charge of the shelters. They worked hand in hand with the Sheriff's Department, with employees from the County Commission, but they were there the entire time. They had cots set up in their offices and all around, because at the end of the day, our school principals are used to handling large crowds, organizing large functions, feeding a lot of children, in this case a lot of adults. They're the best ones to be in charge of this. When I was at Lair Elementary School, what the principal did there, she tried, in addition to having the special needs area and the general area, she actually opened up classrooms for families and for groups. So I met one whole family, 3 generations of a family in one classroom, and they had it all set up. I met, she actually had a memory unit for families that had a relative who maybe was suffering with, I don't know, dementia or Alzheimer's or something. But the kindness and the thoughtfulness, and the principal, Cheryl Nicholas, who did this, she knew she was creating extra cleanup for herself. But what a wonderful way for these guests to feel relaxed in an environment that wasn't overwhelming, that was quiet, peaceful, and really nice.
Years past, like when Matthew happened, we had cots, but the cots were in Texas. So everybody was sleeping on the ground, and nobody could understand why we didn't have any cots at our facilities. So I asked for air mattresses, any kind of mattresses that anybody had, or just blankets and pillows so that we can layer the ground. And Lyman went ahead and got approval for them to put down like this extra foam on their wood floors to make it a little bit softer for the families. One
of the other schools, I can't remember, was Highlands. I went to so many of them. They actually brought in some live musicians, and it was really nice. When I got there, they have they had an overhanging, and it was before the storm. It was windy, but the storm hadn't started yet. And the guests were gathered all around. There was a violin and a bass player, and just a nice way to pass the time, because you're in there a long time. The cleanup, you can imagine, at a shelter that has 100 guests or more, maybe has 100 pets or more. It's a massive cleanup. Part of the pre-work that we do plans the cleanup at the end. For example, we used the gymnasiums at several other schools, and we covered all the floors in heavy-duty plastic, so that the cleanup was really rolling up and throwing out the plastic. But all that being said, it's hours and hours of work. There's food containers, there's trash that the guests leave. There's everything that you can possibly imagine. It took hours to clean and sanitize every shelter because we have a very quick turnaround for when our children arrive back at the schools. We want it to be pristine for them.
What can we do to help our families? What can we do to help our students? And a need we found was the food pantries. They were bare. And we knew there were a lot in this county that wanted to help those that were less fortunate. So I had the opportunity to go out on Nextdoor and get to 200 different neighborhoods to please donate to our pantries. So we're looking for any non-perishable items that students can take home in a backpack. So if it's something that's light or something that's not glass, that would be safer.
We've coined the term shelter heroes. We're going to be recognizing all the Seminole County Public Schools shelter heroes in our October board meeting, just to say thank you, because what really dawned on me while I was out meeting with our staff that were working, they left their families at home alone to make sure that the people who needed the shelters were available to be there. So I'm just so proud of them and the work that they did, and the customer service, the friendliness, the sincerity, and the pride they took in their work was second to none.